yini lento special ngikhala zone disc because nangu manje sinawo umshisho before bekuna uCherry Skhosana and kunamashita paya bontswembu.
There was a time ngibulawa ibench. Yeah. It's patient. I was doing kwaito. I'm doing solo events right now, but I'm a kwaito diehard dog. Yeah, we ended up doing Combined Friends. It was Caprive comedy night.
Okay, sure.
Then moved to Combined Friends. I think guma gig we did a Slef benefit concert. Benefit concert.
Sure.
So that's how then that podcast first came about, to say, let's bring together podcasters in one room and then share ideas.
Muchapilo no JP Forest phakathi kwequantum sirenga wonke umzansi boy isukile boy.
Let's go right to the sound of good times.
Another day, another dollar, another podcast, another episode, another opportunity, inspire and transform lives. Eitaola Shafere, welcome to another exciting episode of the Quantum Podcast. I-podcast yasekhaya, i-podcast yomphakathi, i-podcast yabantu, i-podcast yomhlaba wonke jikelele. Bafethu, we are coming to you live from eHaya Food for Life Emfihlweni section eThembisa e1632 eKasilamakasi. So fandanga bafethu ngiphethe enye yaseKasilam, enye top, enye thanda kuba behind the scene, engafuni ukuthi si disclose i-profile yayo, but fandanga siyayiplug ithanda. So ladies and gentlemen, let us put our hands together for welcome Simelane.
I'll tell you. I'm a taxi driver. I tell you.
I was saving now we push before Nzopistira.
Yeah, so imagine tell about trying to get a steering in a time. A
long time.
Long time.
Since COVID. Oh, ngibone twice my events.
Oh, you saw. I think we spent 2 minutes.
Yeah. They are my podcasters. They are same paras.
Yeah, it was a podcast fest.
Sure, podcast fest.
Also
then
made to go AI in film. Hey,
yeah,
thanks for supporting, dog. Eh? Like when a person just says, "Hey, guna logo," hey, you pitch, but now still I'm feeling bonagala. Get fine.
No. I'll tell you. Okay, yes, I do support my events, but I also benefit because of filming. I'll tell you, most of the AI in filming. So obviously, when you attend the event, you benefit because of even a podcast, like podcast first. It's before you shoot. So it was part of research for me.
So it was part of the journey.
Yeah, must have. Okay, I'm about
nice.
to start a podcasting. I'm going to post it. I'm like, yeah, understand. So it was good for networking, and also I've learned a lot. So through one conversation and stuff. No, being out thinking I'm keeping you so
when I use a podcast, I come around and support the I think I saw you the concept here podcast first.
Sure.
It was basically for this, you know.
Okay.
If I were to
So these are the fruits.
These are the fruits, you know. If I were to actually talk to the guys that we were working together with to pull that one off and say, here's another podcast that I had to follow. Yes, I had to check on how we were doing things. And here's the baby. It actually makes sense why we were doing it.
We took your script, we implemented it.
Yeah, it makes sense why we were doing it because the podcast thingy now, it's coming up too much. Ne? So I am a podcast, but there will be certain podcasts I think as of a different.
Sure.
Like Quantum. It has to be something different. You know, you can't just be doing the same thing. This is all. Guess bye.
Yeah, email.
Yeah.
Music, but you must have your own sound. So
you need to differentiate.
Now,
yourself,
as a podcast, you must have your own voice.
Yeah.
Sure.
And your own shades. Around.
It's an image.
Yeah, no.
Okay, before siyafera uthiyami abantu bangizwa ngibhizi ngikhuluma ngama-podcast first and stuff but abacavi green ukuthi ngibulomeni obala ngoba uhlala behind the scene and bazoma uthi yo event isobe ngikhona kanti bishaya lo mjidi event esobe ngikhona so kahle kahle ubani welcome Simelane.
That's a question. Welcome Simelane is a bolt driver.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'll
That's a recent thing, bro.
Welcome. Bontembisa Hospital. I don't know which ward. But yeah, it's
before was the man.
Yeah, yeah, before was cheese on the suspension. The number 2 period. But yeah, originally Kalambazo, my brother. I think Stratsaco.
Sure, you're gonna get right.
Yeah, and then Grootman la probably
schemes
say Grootman la.
Sure,
you know.
But so scheme in.
Yeah, I mean, there is a scheme because we're watching into an slang, and then we was my shares into Zabo where I was on Zanbegela.
Hey, we are fair, not the
So yeah,
we are fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think it started back then, dog. Okay. It started back then, and so yeah. Welcome is born at Mbisa, Ingosera Sibongile Notaru, and then yeah, Nkula Kona like Kasi, started good. I think in Kale Jardine, man, business saloon,
sure.
And then
to me, yeah,
yeah, saloon by Salit Kolam celebrity. Then now I'll be playing music.
What's a game?
The original Tsekeleke. Yeah, the original Tsekeleke. I think I would take a look at a pilara, which was Kosana pilara, Tabang Ramupudu. So it was a saloon Bekala Amasoka players, Nama artist in most cases.
Sure.
So Tsekeleke would come no Banbano Sekalawa.
Sure.
Jazz as Kolasana would come no Banban or pirate or Abu So that's why that saloon then it ended up Kalang band and then the Kalang store.
Okay.
And then basically again he listens to music. So my plomi le I'm a fruit man and is capelli number where and Kundabantu or Ringinzani, but that's just where it started. And fast forward, I think I then started becoming an artist myself.
Before the artist yourself, ngiyakhumbula udlalile kuSantos. Angeke ukuphela kama mazungana sonke sigemile nje yabo. I believe when I'm under 17, mina ngikanda 14 or under 12, something like that. But asikho lapho. So but obviously diskini uhlala ngesikhathi eside. But ngifuna ngisho sikhula nawe manje yabo.
Ngihlalile diskini jo.
Okay.
I think it was then the love of, I think it following in Kishwe bicycle.
Okay.
Then from bicycle, Saint-Andy Mile. And then that's how the Nipola, you know.
He learned a special in Kalamazone disc. Because now I'm shish. Before begin with Cheris Kosana, and then Namashita, Paya, Bonswembu, Manye, Azalile professional, they never made it to the first term. Understand?
Now some of them they've made it. Some of them they've made it. I think Kalambazo we've had. There was Unibe that like Sundown.
Sure.
There was Usoli Begatala, the goalkeeper is Sundown.
Sure.
That was the only goalkeeper Bibamba Mama. I'm a Polagacheris Kosan. When the country is actually amazed to Cheza Agna goalkeeper Bamba Polawak. But he out here say Kalamba, yes, a cast like Usoli was the only person that was Bamba Polagam Chase. Okay. And then you had Iwi Sundowns as well. Yeah. So I don't know what's right or wrong at Kalambazo, but Kalambazo has always produced soccer stars. Umshishi, I think as we grew, Mangala, we were in the same team because Mangala under 17, I think under 14, something like that. But yeah. So we've always had our skills at Kalambazo, fan. We've always had our skills at Kalambazo until I mean even now. Yeah.
Yeah. Machida bomnanda bophumlane and stuff, estratin sakho.
Yeah. We'll call it disc. Yeah, Sure. Shout out to gents. So yeah, it is key. Spuma kona.
But it is lifundise.
I think it's patience.
Okay.
Yeah, it taught me patience. There was a time in Bulawayo bench. Yeah, it's patient.
Sure.
There was a time in Bulawayo bench because Tina at that time, bese sekunalento yokufake ama-card. It's podcast, we're talking, right?
Sure.
So bese sekunalento yokufake ama-age. So now you find the teamini sekudlala abantu abadala more than intwana. And then now, obviously, manithi niyafika kwamanye ama-team kudlala,
Yeah.
and then nathi bazofuna ukufaka.
Tshela ku-under
This is
16
strong.
udlala intwana ena-17. Yeah,
So
sure.
then I think soccer taught me patience and
But enye into
Yeah.
kufakazela ukuthi siringe ngayo ibhenji bekhosta ukuthi i-competition bibhanja phela lapha uthola izimnandi zonke coach yawo confused nayo spoiled for choice.
yeah, you'd say that, but I think they affect toilet to age at some
Okay.
point. At some point, they affect toilet to age because once we then started getting it right, I mean, I never missed any game.
Okay.
Bengufuna bathi i-coaching ngathi kwenzakaleni ishiya iskimi mara okusalayo ukuthi I never missed any game.
All right.
So I think yeah, we go, we catch up. We go,
Childhood
we catch up.
memories into ikhumbulayo beyidumile kasi usakhula.
Dumile engikhumbulayo isalone yasekhaya. Nah man, izibhaya man izinto as we go along. Dog. Zibhaya man. I think without I think you're throwing me off, John.
Awuthi ungasabi ukukhuluma ezinye izinto because abanye abantu uyacaba mfethu bekunamaginsi ekasi eliwa shaya ungazama ukubalekela lento leyo
No, but I'm
ukuthi
trying.
positive thing.
Here's the thing. I'm trying to find the positive. Yeah, but
That's why ngithi singashake focus kuba positive
I'm
things
trying
kuphela.
to
Asikhulume
find-
ngento
yeah.
edwe generalize ngisho. Asiglamatize lento leyo.
into dumile lokuthi disc. Disc.
Sure.
Yeah. Into dumile kasi disc. And like we said, we had a lot of soccer stars that we were actually looking forward to or looking up to.
Sure.
Yeah, but yeah.
All right. Asingene ku-entertainment but yami. Qala kanjani ndaba yakho
Baller
entertainment?
entertainment.
Okay. Indaba yakho yama festivals like music, comedy, ama events because of like you was facing some events kakhulu.
Yeah.
So iqala kanjani leni yakho? Ugcina sewenza professional especially.
Like I said, I used to play music esalon ekhaya. From there, amachita hlala seJardini. So I used to host eJardini ama-party, you know. So ispace besibhaya amachita hlala seJardini sihlale simbomboza or siblome nabantu, you know. So fast forward, we started recording. I was doing kwaito. I'm doing solo events right now, but I'm a kwaito diehard dog. And then performance kwaito wise. So the company was under yona being asitholela ama-gig. So I started then moving around to saying we have an album, we have a disc, it's a more reliable music or whatever, but we don't perform.
Ucula nobani?
Bekunomadoda.
Okay.
Bekunomadoda,
This is Stratton
Charles, yeah, bekuno Charles, and then C4.
Man ngiyayikhumbula igroup
Sure. Yeah. So when then the company was actually not getting us a gig, I started moving around and told them a gig.
Okay.
Mazise told them a gig. Then I was like, but why do I need to beg a gig for us to perform? Let's start our own gigs, squads who's performing. Only to find now it's leading to let's plug amanye artists. Tisbayenze amanye gig bakwazi nabo ukuthola ama performance. So that's how basically it started.
I remember we recorded ijikelele in 2010 namachita wami P4M. Then you heard the song on radio. You called me. Ntwana shaya around endlini. Ele ngoma yini nsuye mfethu. Mara why ningarekhodi sirekhode ufake ivoice yami ngaba nsuye mngakhulu. You remember
I said that. Just dala ngishaya. Oh God!
It was a good idea, but the song was already out, and at that time, when I access to Caprive, because I remember you said it's not perform Caprive, it's not perform in and
I've always been about plugging a machine.
Sure.
I've always been about plugging a machine. And so when I open a door for myself, I need to make sure that no one will also get into long young.
Yeah.
I think that's just how it is.
Okay.
So when we ngikushaya ngithi thingifake nami ivesi lami angazi.
Hayi vari reality izokutshela ichuna khani kulelo mabrother ivari reality. Okay, then now so uqalile so shayela ama event wakho and stuff. So mina ngibona so shaya ama event eCaprive and stuff icala kanjani leyo relationship le. Usitshele yonke into oyenza lapha ama comedy show and everything.
That relationship, I think it was after my first. I did a gig as a Val.
Okay.
Yeah, I did a freshers. After freshers, I was like, I needed something that's actually is over consistent. Then I approach you. Okay. Ngamazi nokumazi. Ejo. Yeah. Ngamazi nokumazi. Ejo. Ngithule my event, you know, and I think I know the potential when it comes to marketing. Okay. You know, so at that time, I'm an artist. Because I enjoyed work book. I'm an artist. Sure. So I had that reputation. When I said, "Gune artist Eliso Elizai," rest assured that artist will pitch. You know, and then I think he didn't know me as well, but yeah, he ended up saying, "Okay, I see dude." Thanks, I do. Sure. I think, was spanning a Caprive from 2010. I don't even know until Nini because we never had a relationship that actually stopped. Spanning a Caprive maybe from 2010 until 2015. Sure. But spanile internally events and then the events outside of that, you know, building Afro jazz and soul. So yeah, that's the journey as a Caprive fan. I was doing marketing. I was doing the events planning. I was doing the artist bookings. So I needed to make sure with the Kalawa band.
Obviously, I'm event because of money. I'm a camera and what do you need?
I'm fine.
I'm comedy show and stuff.
Comedy. Yeah, no. I mean, we ended up doing Skumba and Friends. It was Caprive Comedy Night.
Okay, sure.
Then moved to Skumba and Friends. We did a comedy. We did events. It was what? You'd say 80% of my event on Ashimza with Dan and Caprive. We've done a lot of events, man.
If I
one man show started there, but I think when the one man show started, I was not there.
Oh, so
yeah. I don't think it was saying Caprive.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So when Shimza was already working in the Caprive when I actually joined in.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll say that. So up I'm an event that I've included myself in.
Oh, yes, fine.
Melus fag.
Sure.
So yeah, I think that's just the journey entertainment dog and just pushing Ikasi and then supplied nama artist to Abu Butlati when she was still doing what is it? Show your legs. Yeah, you know, doing show your legs. You know, so yeah, there was a relationship with my artist, and so you find and so forth, and so yeah, I think it's just been a journey. It's just been a journey, fun.
Yeah.
Where did you pay a artist?
Yeah, artist, yeah.
Yeah, Mikey,
I'll tell you, it's not about me. Let's profile our yes, this is handsome. So tell me, as a relationship, I can teach you. Meet kanjani sibuda because thina besimcavile TS lapha ya sibuda sinokumbona ikazi simbonela from fair yabo but wena sesekubona usubloma naye kanje and soshana ama event abhaya. I remember the last time we ku radio station like ku breakfast show yakhe athi ala outle fana ngiplaka ngenkani la outle ayithanda uvele emacamereni so awatshela abantu ukuthi uchunani and stuff and everything so nihlangana kanjani sibuda?
Yo, Jason is fagile ngale interview le. I think it's there's certain things that you get them by chance, and then there's certain things where you're like okay, you know. So me meeting Musbu, I actually booked him. I had to book him for a gig.
Okay.
I booked him for a gig. ngizitshela ukuthi ngifuna ukuzi-introduce ukuthi sibuye kaseliwani, you know. Only to find makafika bekasesipana no okay gama lihambile no before Abu Brown, and then makafika ulele kabini. No, it was no, TS bekanabo Sanele, but there was a guy that was driving him.
Okay.
And then makafika go gig, yeah, this guy ulele, you know. So I want to talk to this guy, book this guy, but this guy ulele. And then now, uphuma sekayodlala. Oh, okay. Now I need to, you know, understand that, respect that. So my first booking, basically ungonile, but asazan, you know. So fast forward to sihlangane Polokwane. So Polokwane we were doing a Polokwane Beach Festival, and then he's also booked there through me nakhona futhi. And then mase sihlangana la ngithi yeah yaseKasi, you know, because angisho sonke kuma break stage, you know. So yaseKasi shapha kunjani? I know great. Now kind of saying as an introducer, you know. Usukela auction ithi ngisukela auction, you know. So this booking so ngeke ngakubooka lena so it's like oh okay. So now he's starting to take me serious, you know. Fast forward, I got him a couple of gigs. As we keep on meeting, then he actually realizes with what is it? You know, but it's not, it's not a groupie, but I'm there for work, you know, because it's either I'm booking him or I'm throwing him a booking.
And you're also a force to reckon with.
You know, then I'm throwing him a booking. So then the relationship just grew from there. But Saya, to a point whereby now we can do my gigs together. Now he can trust me. Now he can be doing a gig and say, in marketing, you know, I need this, I need that. And then there's other gigs where now it's a partnership. It's his logo, it's my logo. Now it's like, oh, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Then moving Seguama radio, you know, homegrown radio. Now I'm running the station. It became a relationship like that, whereby he knew when I needed somebody to get things done, welcome on. You know, when I need Morefire to spread, welcome on, you know. So it was just those kind of things. And so that's just how my relationship now.
It's just
my event.
I'll tell me you're moving too fast, So siyaqava ukuthi awufuni ubreka and like uthi mina ngishayini but important that's why sekubizile lento le. That's why sekubizile ngayo.
How much time do you have?
Ilanga lonke singarekhora kuze kuchange.
Okay, ufuna ukwazi ini ke mawufuna ngisiphethe down.
Yini into usishayela usibuda yabo okay event yokuqala seyishayela usibuda sesisipana together hayi usamplaga understand. So ukuthi I was part of homegrown radio and it's responsibility yami bekuyini nani ngiyenza like go into details. People are interested in these things.
Okay, I think kuma gig kaSibu we did a Slef benefit concert. Sibusiso Leo benefit concert.
Sure.
So I was responsible for marketing there.
Sure.
Distribution. And then Sapusha, and then we did DJ Sibu's homecoming. Saishala Lamritingi was the project manager there. We did a couple of events. Man, I don't think.
ATS were involved.
Nah, I was not involved with TS.
Okay.
I was not involved with TS. And then we moved to Homegrown Radio, of which Homegrown Radio is a station where he co-owns. You know, it's not like it's him alone, but he's also involved there. So Homegrown Radio, I was doing a business development.
Sure. So
I was responsible to getting them advertisers. You know, I was responsible for taking the brand out there. For you to know about a homegrown radio, I needed to make sure, you know, for companies to know about a homegrown or canvas or advertiser, you know, and of which homegrown, when it actually started, it was a course. It's a radio course where I was born to speak on radio.
Sure. So
we were guiding guys that wanted to do the radio thing. You know, so it's just not presenters only. I mean, the course was covering the presenting, the news reading, the technical side of things, the advertising side. But and it was during the time of COVID.
Sure.
So when that course then students graduated, okay, ba graduated, ba na certificate wabo. What now?
Okay.
Then the radio station was then built because at that time they were a massive metro.
Yeah.
So massive metro, say I'm a celebrity. Yeah, but you cannot take labo ba grumayo ba for a massive metro. So now build homegrown radio, and then these are homegrown. Let them run the station. Then I had to be responsible for the business development that I get.
Social media because of being born live on Facebook, and I believe that was the way of communication.
I think that station, namanje Joe. There's things that we were trendsetter. It was a small station or an online station, but what Metro FM is doing now, it's something that we did. When was COVID? 2020. So something that we were doing in 2022, you find the Metro is doing now, because I think there's a board of directors that have been involved in the entertainment space. So they are always ahead, So going live, I show even live Instagram or even live Facebook. Those were things that were not done back then. But Tina, that we were forced to say. Yeah, Tina, that we were forced to say, you don't have listeners. Nobody knows who's homegrown. So the only way for you to get listeners is go live. And we would shout, Abontando, we would shout, you need to go live. And then when you're going live, that's when at least you're getting the crowd. Then people will start giving you attention. Okay. So fast forward, those things are things now that the current presenters are actually doing now. Sure. So that station on its own, it was just setting trends, but it's growth. Sure. It's growth, info. It's growth. What else do you want to know? We're taking Hamba fast.
Oh, relax.
I don't even have a question. Shiny question on the spot. Okay.
Okay. Then from there, we are moving. What was your responsibility to Morefire? Because Morefire say, "Ikona province." I was in Swaziland for about 3 years, being having access to Morefire at any time. Though it's expensive that side.
And actually, I didn't have a responsibility to Morefire. Yeah, Morefire was just a hustle. I think when it started, I tried putting it in my shop.
Okay.
Because I said a small can. Yeah, it's a small can. So I'm out to be in a busy corner. Hey. I'm very busy going to buy stock again. Yeah, get in my garage. They don't trust this thing. So to a point where by then now people started trusting it, but I had moved from actually doing the sales, right? So focusing on my projects that we were doing. Then as we went, I saw an opportunity. Let's plug in Morefire every corner like 10 days. And then that's where then my responsibility was. To say
like this. On post and stuff.
No.
Oh, literally, that's why I buy some roti, the machita and stuff.
Fine, Leonto, shower me, language wrong. But shower me to a point where Sbu actually recognized it. To say, and that. Kandano paisa mapilot tanga kwenzakala. Basically employ maybe about 20 people. Every day say mele ngambe ngithenga ama ice. Ngibuye nginama cooler. Baphuma ngama 2. Le 2 le nohlale eSwazini. Le 2 le nohlale Mall of Tembisa. Le 2 le nohlale BP. So take abantu bavayo bahlale there, and then during the day I would still go back, fill them up whether ngama ice or fill them up in a store. Then the opportunity when he's around the line auction, then he would also come and activate. So Simelane just have a busy corner with that team there. So must figure that now people are actually seeing Usbu. Sure. And then now no munto petty PS I take him on fire, No munto petty PS I take him on fire. And then it started then moving, And then even the team that I was creating or working with. Shout out to Usbu, because the motivation whenever he shows up, sispanela usibu, but uspanela usibu kahle uspanela welcome. It's just
Sure.
bakasekasi niva, yeah, and then they say he would just now pitch as well, and yeah, man, hey, I was pushing those sales, I was pushing those sales, in fact, I was pushing those sales, but yeah, I think that's what my responsibility for Morefire was, to make sure with Lilo Shin.
You understand which why they over too fast. Yeah, what would put information in that region? Because no, it's motivated about it.
I'm recording him.
It's fine, it's fine.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't take the credit, Mvana. I think I've been told a couple of times. Sometimes you need to chill and take the credit, but it's incredibly space and goose.
Okay.
Yeah, incredibly space and goose. I'm full of a straight in. I will see. I will look at
Nah. Asiko lapho.
Yeah.
Manje wisdom engangithola about him because of abantu ababhaya ababena access obenayo to ama celebrities and stuff. Bachaza ukuthi mina nginamba kaSibungu impela at any time ngishaya ithome noSibungu sibone ukuthi makashaya ibirthday yakhe ngi-invite nami ngivele kuyithome wena ubone kuyi opportunity singasipana sonke senze imali sonke so wisdom le kuyaphi.
Mfana, I think for me Uguspana, it's not about I'm celebrity, maybe let me put it like that. You know?
Access to one
yeah, I had access to a celebrity in
Sure.
And then for me, when I have your number, I need you man phone I was good, he's calling because of guna something. Not just now you start ignoring my calls. You understand? We are phone just for the sake of exactly. And so I think that's where I kept it. There were times where people will be like, "Why was I festival?" I'm like, for what? You know, it's not about if I have your contact now I need to use you. There will be a time where I will use you.
Okay.
You understand?
Sure.
But now mind, kind of confused.
Okay, let's move again. Because I'm going to pull kusibuya yabo.
Yeah,
asikhulume ngale yokugcina ke le podcast fest. Concept ibuyaphi?
Podcast fest, the concept came from Nick.
Okay.
And Nick Nosbu. So what is Puma Nosbu market to be?
That's why I'm saying ngifuna ngibize ngamakubuka ngisho ngeze
So look, Hustler's Corner is one of the podcasts in the country.
Sure.
Right. I think it was Hustler's Corner, Make G.
It's one of my favorites.
So, yeah, so there was just a few, podcasts if you actually pick. And then I'm a podcast and started editing, But they were losing it direction.
Sure.
So the guys then teamed up to say, what can we come with to actually teach people about podcast? Remember, I said Homegrown was developed from I was born to speak on radio. So it has always been about the development of youth. Let's teach how to be on radio. And then now the podcast is taking off. Let's teach the podcast side to saying, what do you need? What's the right equipment? How to go about it? How do you monetize it? And all those things. So that's how then that podcast first came about to say, let's bring together podcasters in one room and then share ideas. And then the rights and so forth and so forth. Because I remember that we had Marisa as well on stage. We had Cleo, it was just basically that to say let's share the knowledge.
Yeah.
So it was just
well, one thing that I've also learned there, don't wait for resources. Use what you have.
Yeah.
Just start.
Just start.
Yeah.
Just That's how you build a crowd. You start with 2 people that are viewing the podcast, eventually by 10, eventually by 50, then the next thing socially go 1,000, One of the things I think that I was taught was you start and don't look at the numbers, don't care about the numbers. just drop the episode.
Be consistent.
Yeah, just be consistent, drop the episode, don't look at the numbers. They will build as you go.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out. Shout out to you. That's yeah, because of like I always tell people, ukuthi ama contacts abalulekile yabo ukuthi nabo bani ku phone book yakho is also important because of I might not be talking to welcome every day. Yaphela unyaka singakhuluma mina now. But every time I update status ngiyasibona. Understand? So na ku Facebook then lento le yasinceda ukuthi sikhule sonke. I remember ushaya quite a fest eColumbus, ground in that ground too.
Nice.
They say ground tour ngela kwa kamsiza.
Ngasi quite the fest. Ngasi quite the fest.
Bekunabo breaks.
Kalawa, yeah.
Bekuno lo speaker. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. That's another guy that groomed me. Eh?
Okay.
I did a event of a speaker. I'm a Christmas in July.
Sure.
I'm a birthday of a speaker. You know. That's one of the guys, you know. I think if I were to thank people, but I need to thank for actually listening to my crazy stories and giving me a chance and supporting me, basically. So you were asking about the wisdom. I think I get it from them to saying if Lamakrot Manawangas, but they can actually listen to my crazy ideas or they can actually give me a chance to as I'm a social gig in Pumalanga and the Bavume, then for me, that's actually where I wanted it, you know. Okay. So when I did layer gig, that was my first gig in Kaslami. So I shall not see the show up.
I was there.
Yeah,
it's sounding sending.
What's the sound sending?
Ngihleli ngathi fucking avaya. Yakubiza nje yawo. Bayasho welcome lapho yazi.
I think there was the pressure you're always doing a gig lena. I was a gig you know. And then I think the opportunity. I don't know why I didn't want to take that gig to a Caprive, but I actually said, "Let me for a Kaslam."
Sure.
And then I for a Kaslam with that. It sends a mess up in a Kaslam, you know. And then the Alaskas, they all pulled through.
Sure.
They all pulled through.
The whole Kalawa.
Yeah, the whole Kalawa. That's a family talk. That's a family. You know, when you talk about to speakiri, you know who's good. You cannot talk no speakiri you know. So So that's the quite of family.
Okay.
So I ended up finding myself in that mix.
Plus, we should quite
I ended up finding myself in that mix. So I spend this cut the studio, you know. All these records, Candy, I think with the latest, which album was it? There was speaking 2.5. I think it was 2.1 when we were celebrating 25. Yeah, we were actually launching it 2.5.
On that day.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were launching it 2.5 now on that gig. And then, I ended up just spending more time in the studio trying to understand the Kalawa family, with how do these guys operate, you know. And I think there's just that genuine brotherly, you know, attention, love type of a thing. Because when you're doing good, they will also open doors for you. So I had that opportunity. I can go with Kalawa at any time I want.
Professor,
just in the studio, you know. But obviously, some people don't know you, but abanye bayakwazi because abanye nahlangana ngama event, abanye sebayazi. Let's share my event at Tembis. And at that point in my life, I think there was no quite gig that was happening at Tembis and I got involved.
Sure.
Must tell us it quite because with our
became the face.
Welcome, you know. I remember Upaze Magazoshaya quite a festival in Caprive. You know, he comes no cleaner. And you was full of bored. I'm like, okay, so where's the job, man? Now we're doing this.
Because the first day, the recent one.
The quite the first that was like,
I was there.
Mama Chita came there. Marabora Bafunum Zagazay. I was from Zagazay, ring out, Zagazay. I was like, I was a people. What driver my contact?
Uzibona thike awusethembisi. Ubona amateksi.
Yeah, I mean, Umze was just driving.
Okay, thina ke sicela ukum-interview ke. Angisho what
Interview
umzekeze.
Nah, it doesn't take interviews, doc. It doesn't take interviews.
Si quantum mfethu ubona amateksi.
But nah.
No,
Let's
connection
not talk about Umze. Cut. Let's not talk about Umze.
Awuthi umzeksi ubona amateksi.
Yeah.
Mina ngishayela iteksi ngisho ngibona nge-quantum drive.
Okay.
So wona lethi umzekeze.
Google.
Afika angizoringa namashita sikalawa ngisho hey ngizoringa namashita CTS angisho wena umuntu ekalawa zoringa namashita CTS azongiplug akuna flow.
So now, man, it's been a journey. I think thanks for Joe. I never sit and actually talk about my story. Eh?
Sure.
I think this is my first time where I would say welcome.
It's important that we need to document all these things.
Yeah.
It's important.
I mean, there's also this document. I mean,
Already see document here.
yeah, exactly. You know, I think,
but it's
I think
important.
Yeah,
It's
no,
important.
thanks.
We need
for
to
the
recognize
platform.
abantu abafana nawe thina.
Nah, thanks for the platform.
Sure, so. Then didn't which one? Cause ngeza bathi anything yasekasi mafuna igcwala ikasi kuma Apollo, kuma Danger, yonke indawo. This is the man to contact. So
Chelo, bye.
usho ngangilalele le breakfast show yakasipula that day. And he was like,
Listen to the
it's important, it's important because of it also helped me to prepare for this interview. You see?
Now, Divas of Soul. This is a baby that was born.
Asikafiki.
Yeah, but you were asking about it.
Angibuzi nge-Divas of Soul.
So,
Ngibuza about this type of marketing oshaya ukuthi wena uthi mawufuna event yakho igcwala ikasi lonke yazi wonke umuntu igcwala ama-Danger, ama-Apollo, ama-Fans yonke into. This is the man to contact.
Yeah, no.
Awucala saprint amaphepha. Understand? Almost everything now is efonini uthiyaba. Everything is digital. Njengibeke kanjalo. So why wena ubona isidingo sokuthi uqhubeke wenze lento lezi?
You can't lose traditional marketing.
Sure.
You can't lose traditional marketing. Everywhere you go, Coke is still advertising. So you cannot say this brand is big, you know, and then therefore you'll just stop advertising. So I think into estigamezile lately with the advertising for my events, it was COVID.
Okay.
Because when then COVID hit, we needed my event to say intimate, then we're no longer marketing. But now, post-COVID, do you still go back to the traditional marketing or do you still continue digitally? So my belief is go marketing. You're not everybody reaching ngendlela yakhe. There's somebody on Facebook or go Twitter page. So if you're going to market on Facebook only, then you're going to lose out on the Twitter person. You know, there's a person that looks at the banner, the cloud banner, and then angabheki board. Yeah, there's excitement. You know, and then there's a person that doesn't look at the banner or the board, but magaboni billboard, then it grabs attention. And so I believe everyone, you need to market based on bona, which bona ba prefer check in. So that's why I'm saying when it comes to the traditional marketing, you cannot lose it. You can go radio, you can go TV, but you still need to come back to the ground. You need to do your groundwork. People need to. There's a guy I used to work with, Tom Silive, R.I.P. Toms. He used to say, event you know. So when we try and plug all these things, it's just the efforts of making sure, even if a person doesn't know about it, doesn't come and attend it, but they know about it.
Sure.
Yeah, I might not go to Divas of Soul, but I know we couldn't event to Divas of Soul. Right now, saying Divas of Soul.
Sure.
You know, so that's just basically me. When it comes to the traditional side of things of marketing, so I will still continue with this one. Focus on your socials.
That's why we need you out here.
Focus on your socials. Thina strategy sazoshada.
Yeah.
Abanye abantu abekho ku social media.
Okay. Usakhuluma social media, you did filming in AI. What is it about? And
hey, you know too much about me. Jeez.
I do my research about all my guests.
AI in film was a product that was developed by Umfundo and then Nolwazi, Nomandla. So I was plugged in, like you say, sometimes hey, I just don't tell you know. So AI in film was actually focusing on that. We've moved to the digital side of things, right? And then now there's this AI, you know. So now people can write a script, you know, in a space of 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
You know, but before you'd find a script, you know. There's now equipment that are actually better in using the AI side of things. So that conference was channeling abantu to say, open your eyes, AI is here. Whether you like it or not, finally quantum, whether you're turned or turned, will give you quantum.
Most there.
You want to service, quantum will give you understand. Sure. So AI now has become that to saying, okay, let's now give knowledge about the AI to people. And then let's call filmmakers to be in one room and then discuss the AI. Because the biggest question has always been, AI is telling me surveillance, you know? So the answer was no, AI is not. It's only the producers that can actually attack this part.
But AI is but umuntu ukwazi ukusebenzisa AI uzokuthathela umsebenzi.
Because uzofuna now script sibhalwe AI. I'm character, so we have a build abosiya nabo welcome. Awusaba employee, you understand? And then when it comes to a shoot, izinto says yes. So now you're actually cutting from working with 200 people, you end up working with 5 people because of the greed.
Sure. Understand.
So I think that's what we were trying to say there. To saying it's AI in film, but let's discuss everything under AI and then let's talk the filmmakers game. Okay. So that's how that project came about.
What results that team?
Nah, it was okay. And I think ITC also wanted it to come to a Durban. So then Divas kicked in. I had to take the same team, bring AI in film, and then bring them this side to say, here's the project, let's run. But there's still the Durban edition AI in film that's still pending. Okay. So yeah.
All right.
Divas of Soul.
You Divas of Soul out here.
Divas of Soul. Ooh. Divas of Soul. Divas of Soul, Joe. It's a concept that was developed 2019. Unfortunately, then 2020 it was COVID, and then we're only bringing it back now. So we started the concept with it was Olira, it was Operita, it was Selena Johnson. You know, so we brought in an international artist. So I was just with consistently, so I'm international. Good plus at COVID.
Eish.
But yeah, I think with that one, Carnival City. Yeah, it was August. Carnival City. So we took a break when COVID came and hit, and then again Manchester City. No, let's see what can Empress do justice enough by bringing this event back. You know, so we're going all out. We are born a strategy, we are born a pen, we are born a board. This Sunday, I think we're starting go Metro, ne Radio 2000 as well. So yeah, now it's the last month. We just need to pump it up and just throw it go radio. And
that's why we're here.
Let's just see. Yeah, let's just see where does it take us. So I'm a ticket work on a color from 400 rand, and then it's 400, it's 550, and the VIP 8 clipper. Okay. Yeah. So we're saying it's Divas of Soul. 6 December, Emperor's Palace, Divas of Soul. Kula isiyakhona.
So ngeze nomuntu wa.
iza nomuntu wakho rumshiya angazi mangabe nokabana ayifuni mina ungamshiyi uthi yimi ngithe ungezi naye but iza naye umuntu wakho nizokwazi ukubloma uthi yami but rest assured la kuyobe kugcwele abantu besimame yabona so nawe kumele wazi ukuthi uhlala izaza lakho mawuthi ubheka ngapha ubheke yabona khambilisa kuphela kungayi ubuso cause ungajampisa uthola impama khona la yeah, but it's Divas of Soul, 6 December, Empress Palace, Amanda Black, Lwandle Nkulu, Berita, Amifaku, Somizi, Masichaba as the host.
What is the plan for Divas of Soul? The future plan? Are you planning to host it annually or is it a once-off thing?
Look, it's a concept that we wanna host it annually, and it's a concept that Unkulunkulu Marangas allow bringing the international artists as well to continue like Sikale Corner. And it's a concept where we're trying now to find a way of also incorporating Amachita because you know, it's good that we do, but we might end up doing two, you know, Divas and Gents of Soul, something like that. Yeah, so that's what we had to. Hey, Joe,
have a pie.
One thing is better than Ufini Begafuna. Basically, from Java.
Sure. I know.
Inquired no Java, inquired no Vusinova. But when we started sitting down again, we're like, no, we're going to mess up the concept because you're saying divas. So Masisas Faramachita, yeah, man. And then now, then go so music. Okay. Okay. How then do we now get a host that can actually ban the show? You know, and shout out to Somizi. I think when I gave him a call, it was like, but I'm landing back more 6. I was like, then around the time, you know. So when you're landing, it's Emperor's, it's the airport Konala.
Sure,
so, yeah. So when you're landing from Pulukwane, just come in Konala, you know. Okay. And then, yeah, then some far you know, he's a diva. You know, he's a diva. I think he's the only gender that actually qualifies to say he's a diva, you know. Yeah, so yeah, that's just basically it. 6th December, Empress Palace, Divas of Soul.
All right.
I'm looking forward to this one.
I'm looking
forward to this one. I'm looking forward to this one. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this one. And then we're also getting support from either Star and Sunday World. Shout out to the Star and Sunday World. They plugged us in. I think now they are busy pumping. So what we're actually trying to do now that's different about this concept is it's not just an event. You know, we're trying to create a Divas experience. Right? So as you're coming in, whether it's Tandelama champagne or whatever, you know, there should be a space for that. And then there should also be like a saloon, you know, type of a thing. So if you see delay waba late endlini ungaqhubeki ufuna ukuyenza makeup yakhe endlini, just get there will be a makeup station, you know. You want to do your nails, come there, you can still do your nails there, you know. There will be a comedy, you know, comedy konanyana, you know. So it just becomes we're giving it a Divas experience, basically, in short. So you can get your nails, you can get your hair done, you can get your massage, you can get your foot. Yeah, it's not just an event. That's what we're trying to create.
All right.
Then there'll also be a fashion show.
Manje awuthela ngizokanga interviews. Yangilahla la. Kahle kahle awufuni ngene mahalo bekhasho ngiyazama ukusifaka.
Unemalini. I say partnership. If we can do partnership, you can come through.
I'll tell you.
Let's talk offline. No, let's talk offline. I mean, there's possibilities. Everything is possible, Doc.
Sure.
So you can come set up your podcast today. You can do quantum da. But let's talk about it offline. Singa ama promise kuma camera. Bese mabaqeda bangidlalele clip. But this is what you said. So yeah, something that we can talk about. It's always about plugging in.
Sure.
It's always about plugging in, and we're always about that.
Yeah.
You're plugging me in now.
Any event beside Lena we planile? Maybe
I think it's a comedy and soul. Okay. After this one, we're going for Ekuruleni Comedy and Soul. It's in March.
Okay.
I'm praying Nifaka Kaslami.
Sure.
Lapi ground in. So comedy and soul, it's a fusion of the R&B guys versus the stand-up comedy guys. So basically, it becomes from a mini, let's say from 12 o'clock until 5 o'clock. It's the R&B, it's the soul session. 5 o'clock until 7, it becomes comedy. Because comedy, you need to put in. I'm a comedian, otherwise they tend to be noisy, or it just gets bad. And then after that, then you go back into your soul session. So it's a soul session meets a comedy, basically. And that's another concept that was born the same year with this one. But when this one fell off, that one continued.
Okay.
Yeah. So comedy and soul, it's also making from 2019 to now, 6 years now.
Uthabu notice bazama ukushaya ama event yini advice ongabagaya yona intwana encane yasekazi ufuna ukungena ku event space mela yenze
Actually, it takes patience. It takes patience, and it's not about the spotlight. Don't just get into an event because you want to. It's not about the spotlight. Don't come here for don't come here with it's quick money. Now you lose 200k man, you slim a man. So you need to be strong. Events are fun, I think you need to have the passion for honor, and you need to allow yourself to learn, learn the marketing side, and also it's not about you, but learn from others and then take.
So that means
event.
Events.
Yeah, you need to attend the events, and then you need to also check why did that event win? Why did that one fail? And also do your own research. But in short, don't get into events for fame, because it's a Puma fast.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what I would say. Quantum.
In closing, any message to our subscribers at home?
Subscribers at home, come to Divas of Soul. 6 December, come to Divas of Soul. To subscribers, 6 December, Divas of Soul. Die. 6 December, Divas of Soul. Emperor's Palace. Gates open from 4, and tickets are selling from 400 rand, and then it's 400 until 800 as a VIP. And then, like I said, from 4 until 6, we're doing the pampering session. It's the fashion show, it's the makeup, it's the nails, it's, the hairdos and what, so that people can feel like divas, So when 6 o'clock starts, performance, everybody, the mood, light. I think that's what we're trying to create. We're trying to create a divas experience. And the only way to actually experience that is get your ticket uzorela Emperor's Palace.
Sure. Hey, cishe ngayenza mistake. Awuthiyaba umuntu ushaya ama event i-advice isponsor ngasithola kanjani?
Akuna template. I have proposals that I've sent through for this one. Abaga respond in a mind. So there's no. What's the right word? I'm not a template for a sponsor. You go out, you fight. If you fight even for a company that supported you with the previous event, but you will still, because it gets challenging. They can come this year, but it's young again, I'm allowed. And then now so Zolo and Abantu, because Abantu bajwayele ukuthi ngena amakhula. You know, so it just becomes, it's frustration. Yeah, it's frustrating. So when it comes to sponsorship, silo until the last day until we get it right. So there's no template when it comes to sponsorship.
Ama-team abaluleke kangakana. Ufuna ukufundisa abantu ngama-events manje.
I'm a team. I never used to like a team, but I got fortunate with I think abantu that comes to my events, they started following the team part. You know, we've done.
But event.
Yeah, they do. You know, I think it looks nice when you're seeing the pictures. Abantu certain way.
All white,
certain way. But not just all white. That's why in Nalana City, all white with a touch of orange.
Okay.
You understand? Because there should be that something that sets that event apart.
Okay.
You know, or that team apart.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright.
So thinking that, yeah.
Siyabonga. Thank you for honoring the invitation, Aucham, and thank you for Ploma Nathi. So siyazi kuningi wasifundisa ngakho ngama-event. Mhlawumbe ngilanga sizohlala phansi sikhulume ngama-event nge-template yakhona from ukuthi okay post designer kanjani, all these things, understand? It's important. Une-experience what indlela ibuza kwabaphambili. Yabo.
Yeah, no, I think it's through God's grace which we're still here all these years. So yeah.
Asibongile bafethu, sibongile uBloma Nathi, sibongile welcome ukuthi azowakala sosdropele knowledge because of yacabi content more than everything is all about dropping the knowledge. So that's it from me, your boy Siya Cam. What I can say is 8 hours.